Alright, hello YouTube. First of all, with this beginning of the video, I want to just say that I am testing out a new form of audio recording. So, if my voice sounds a bit off or echoey at all, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is for this video. We'll see if I can do anything about that in the future, but as of right now, that's just gonna be how it is for this video. So, we're just gonna have to live with that. I suppose that we should just get right into this video. So this video is going to serve as some kind of like informal announcement, but it is a video that I do have to make just so I can get some things out there. First of all, I want to say that no, Be Continued is not canceled. This is my passion project, so I'll be damned if Be Continued is getting canceled. So this is not bad news. Alright, let me just say that right now. Be Continued is not canceled, and I don't foresee it being canceled in the future. So, yeah, just saying that right now. So, anyway, I've got good news, some so-so news, bad news, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's start with the good news first and foremost. First of all, we have access to the very brand new, spankin' new, very awesome and cool Snowy Lib. Which if you don't know, this is the same lib that Collided uses, and I mean that's the only mod I can think of. I think Resonance also uses it. But yeah, we got Snowy Lib now, thanks to my one and only true GOAT, V. She is our audio manager. She has a lot of connections. She's worked on a lot of other mods before. So yeah, V, thank you for giving us this very cool thing. And for those of you who are not modders and do not know what I'm talking about, Snowy Lib basically allows us to reach so much more potential with our modding and our ideas, and it streamlines the modding process to make things smoother, easier, less jankier, and all around just plain more better, to say the least. Second of all, the update, the next update, which I am going to be dubbing... You know, I won't be name-dropping the next update right now, but it's... What I have to say about it is that it is about halfway done. We are basically complete with all of the coding-related things. We just got one last little thing to do. Most of our animation is complete. Most of our art is complete. There's just still some little tasks that need to be done. About 3 in each, I believe. 3 in art, 3 in animation. Either way, we're super close to the end. And level design is starting to make a big chunk. We're starting to go through that pretty quickly, which I am happy about. And yeah, overall, I think the next update should be... I wouldn't say it's by the end of 2025. That sounds like it'd be unreasonable and just be putting a big deadline on us that we're not ready for. But yeah, I would say that the next update should be kind of soon. You can also probably, hopefully, expect a dev diary soon-ish, I'm hoping. Either of the next update, or you could maybe sweet-talk me into doing another plant showcase if the next update's dev diary takes too long, which it might. We'll see. There's only 2 things that need left before I can begin working on that. Now, this next section I have to get into is some more, like, of the so-so news, which is news that is either not good, but also not bad. So, first of all, as of the uploading of the uploading of this video, I have currently removed the download links to the mod, and this is because the current version of Be Continued just doesn't meet my standards of quality as a dev. Like, things have changed a lot back in this dev team, and the way I see Be Continued right now, it just doesn't match up to the standard of quality that I would want to see. and that is like kind of upsetting to me because like people point at stuff in 2BC and it's just like, oh, like this mod is so like shit, it's so low quality. And even I look at it and I'm like, man, yeah, that could have been better. And you know, I really, whenever someone talks about playing 2BC, I just have to tell them like, please just wait until the next update. Like this version, I am not proud of it. Like just wait until the next update. It is so much better. And you know, I was thinking about it and I thought that that the download links are temporarily removed until next update comes out, in which case I will reinstate them. I will reinstate all of them. However, if you are desperate enough to play Be Continued right now, and you have not downloaded it, then you are still capable of doing so, as I have left the download links available in Floral Federation. Not Floral Federation, in the PvZ Links Discord server. So head there, download Be Continued from there. I really wouldn't like it if you did that, but you can do that if you so choose. Now, the next thing is that in the Discord server, I posted a very long, basically, update post on what you could expect from the next update. But here's the thing. A lot of that update post was stuff that hadn't started production, or stuff that was very early into production. And it was a bunch of stuff that I believed that I was passionate about, but came to quickly find out that I was not. And so, sorry, I just fell out of my chair. So to begin, the 10-hour epic quest, which is an epic quest that was a challenge of me to make in 10 hours, that was removed from the original version of the game and then was promised to come back. I'm going to go back on that promise on the basis that it is not high quality at all, which, you know, no dip. It's an epic quest made in 10 hours, but it's just not something that I want people to point to and say that this mod is not good. You know, like it's just not the quality of content that I'd hope for. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I don't think that should be like very much of a surprise. As for Past Your Bedvine, the other epic quest that was promised, I won't say that this is cancelled, but the epic quest turned into so much more, though it has evolved past what it originally is, to the point where it no longer represents what that quest was called, or even about, should I say. However, once the update comes out, I will talk about it in further detail, but I just cannot talk about it here. Feel free to do your little speculations and your guessing, but, you know, I just... sorry. I'm rambling here, but yeah, that epic quest was cancelled because it grew into something so much more. So, that's pretty much the explanation behind that. And one last thing that might hurt, but Steam Myth Voyage was promised to be the next Weird World for a long time now. It was revealed all the way back in January of this year. And at the time, I was really passionate about it. But soon after the very first beta testers came aboard, they quickly noticed some problems regarding how it was set up. It just wasn't fun. Like, the gimmick was just awful, right? But, like, not fun to play around. And so, we tried to rework it. And eventually, but the reworks weren't sticking for me. They just weren't. And so, eventually, I decided to go back into it at one point. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to rework Steam Myth, and it is going to be so much better. But at that time, 2BC had been in development for so long, and I was so sick of working on it that I just wanted B continued to come out. So I postponed Steamith and decided to just release it without the extra weird world, which, in my opinion, was probably not probably, was a flawed choice. 2BC needed way more content on release. It's very, very small mod. But very quickly after release, we went back into working on Steamith, and it went through rework again and again. It went through 2 different reworks, and after reworking it for what was probably the 4th time, it started to get old. But more importantly, every single time that I'd show off Steamith, I would just feel so self-conscious about it. Like, people would poke fun at the lawn and how it had just such awful art clash and stylistic clash, and it just did not look very high quality. But that was the point. It was supposed to be a hand-drawn art style. However, I'm looking at it and it's I don't like having 2BC have such a bummer reputation. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be having this announcement post to be complaining about certain things with how 2BC is being developed and whatnot, and the things that are troubling me as a dev, but it's just some things that I need to talk about and have it be kind of more public knowledge, so we have the clear communication here and why certain things are the way they are. Now, this isn't to say Steamith Voyage is cancelled. It's still been talk of the town for the dev server a majority of the time. But the thing is, we just don't want to pour so much art tasks into something that isn't even a full world, you know what I'm saying? And if we're not passionate about it, then we're not going to work on it until that passion strikes again. And so Steamith isn't cancelled. It's just up in the air. It will come at some point, but I can't promise that point being the next update, or the update after, or the update before RO Part 2. That's just a promise I can't make. However, that is the last of the so-so news. And so, it's time to get on to the bad news. Alright, so this first piece of bad news is something you were definitely going to have seen coming if you paid attention at the beginning of the video when I announced us moving to Snowy Lib. And that is the ending of 32-bit support. And so, if you don't know, some mods have been ending 32-bit support lately just because of lib advancements and not being able to keep up with both devices. Reflourished has ended 32-bit support. I know Collided does not support 32-bit anymore. It's just inevitable that 2BC followed the same. So, basically, a good, kind of frame of reference is that if your device can run Reflourished, you are going to run 2BC perfectly fine. However, if you cannot run Reflourished, you're going to have a few difficulties. And I'm not going to make the promise that we can make 32-bit support happen, because I know my limits, and I know that is basically an impossible task for me to keep up with. I am not a libber. No one on the modding team knows how to make custom lib. We're not going to be supporting 32-bit devices in the future, because that is not something we can do, nor a promise that we can make. Now, the second piece of bad news is that this update is going to have a more complicated installation method. And so, to elaborate what I mean by this, is that 2BC currently runs on version 9.8 of PVZ2. However, the next version of 2BC is on version 9.6 of PVZ2. And I understand what you're thinking. Like, normally this wouldn't be such a big problem. Like, I can just install the APK over the older one and it's no big deal. However, there's a few issues that are going to arise. The first thing is that you cannot downgrade APK versions. So that means that the 9.6 file will not overwrite the 9.8 file. And furthermore, is that the 9.6 file has a new fancy dev signature compared to the existing file, which just uses the Google test signature. So that will for sure display some issues. Now, in order to properly update the OBB for next, or properly update the game for the next version, you will need to, and this is very, very important, so listen carefully. You're going to want to make a backup copy of your pp.dat, put it somewhere safe, and then you are going to want to delete the old APK and install the new one after deleting it. Then you put the OBB in the APK like normal, and afterwards you will need to put in your backup pp.dat that you made from your old version into the new version. I know this is gonna be complicated, and I know it is, but I'm sorry I had to be that way, but there's no really other way around it. That's just going to have to be how it has to be. Now, I know this update may seem like it's all doom and gloom, and I'm gonna be honest, yeah, most of it is. It mostly is depressing. However, I still want to end this off on a high note. And so, I've got some things that I want to shout out, basically. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to our amazing new dev members, particularly Minnie, Spunky, Sour Dreamer, and Pandiesel, who have all joined the dev team after joining... who have all joined the dev team after 2BC's initial release and have more than, proved to me, how great and talented people can be within this community. And these people are making so much more things in 2BC seem more possible. Also, while I'm here, I want to give a quick shout out to Week. As always, you are still my GOAT artist. I love you. And as well, just a general shout out to the 2BC team, because a lot of this would not be possible without you. However, the reason why I want to shout out these people is due to the fact that these guys are very talented people, and we don't have to go off of sloppy coding or jank or 144p disappeal anymore. We get new animations, we get custom zombies, we get some really cool stuff that we can do, and I really can't wait for you guys to see all of it, especially in the newest dev diary. That's going to show a lot of cool things that we've been working on, and I don't know, I'm just so excited to have the world see how great this mod can be once we have the proper team on board. And yeah, I just want to make a general promise from now on of higher quality. You know, we have new Roman music, we have new plants and zombies being cooked up in the back as we speak, and I'm really just excited to show it off to you. I can't gush over it enough. I'm sorry that I cannot show you anything in this video, but that's just how it's gonna have to be. However, maybe you could sweet talk me into showing you a special render? Who knows? We'll see. From now on, I just want to say that I, specifically, will no longer try to make so many empty promises. In my year of... Okay, scratch that. Actually, yes, it has been over a year of me developing To Be Continued. In that time, I've learned a lot about game development and leading a team, and I've learned that you can't just make announcements willy-nilly. You can't tease things and promise things when they are just starting, or when you hardly have passion or the will to make it happen. Sometimes things just don't pan out the way you thought they would. And from now on, I just want to say that I will no longer be making empty promises like like I have in the past. And from now on, if you see something from me, it will most likely more than not happen. And I just want to make that a guarantee. Yeah. I'm sorry that so many things have failed to pan out, or haven't come out in the way they should, or just flat out got canceled at times, or just forgotten about. But I just want to say that that won't be an issue anymore. And I'm just really excited for you guys to see what we have in store. Because, trust me, you're gonna love it. And I won't keep you in the dark on false hope anymore. Because things will only be teased and revealed when they're close to completion. I'm not foolish enough to make a mistake like that again. Regardless, if you stayed around and stuck around and listened to me talk and ramble unscriptedly about my thoughts on Be Continued and just development in general, then thank you. I just want to say that people who are fans of Be Continued and write me nice reviews, or even sometimes just constructive reviews that are more negative than usual, but they still help me. And it's nice to have a fan base and people who like to see what I do. So, thank you. If I had to be honest, even though the fans of 2BC are few and far between, and with a relatively inactive Discord server, it's still so nice to just have people who support me and support this mod. And truthfully, you guys are the reason why I want to keep going. I want to make you guys like this mod, and I want to make other people like this mod. And to know that there are people who like it even despite the low quality, and despite the empty promises, and despite all the shit in the Discord server. Like, oh my god, I would talk about that, but that's bad PR. Regardless, I very much enjoy having you guys around. Y'all are the reason why I make 2BC happen, and you're the reason why I stay around on the internet and have a successful channel, and all that sappy shit like that. I don't really have much more to say besides thank you, even though I've probably said it a bunch of times already. So, like I said, thank you. Please stick around my channel for future updates, and just know that, actually I don't know what I want you to know. Yeah, sure, I'll keep that in this video.